Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, give up, give up, give up.
I know you got doubts, but get to the bag. Just follow the dream and stick with the plan.
Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. I am your gracious host, Jay Red, and I have a very, very special guest with me today. He goes by the name of YZ. What is happening, man?
Oh, what's good? What's good? I'm good. What's happening?
Man, everything, man. Just been living life to the fullest. Haven't did an interview in a while. Glad for you to join me, you know.
Okay. Yeah, man. That's dope. I mean, I'm just, you said you haven't done an interview in a while or me?
Yeah, well, me. I haven't, usually I do some every week, but I've been just so tied up, busy doing stuff, man. So,
Okay.
yeah, you one of the first ones in like the last 3 weeks, I want to say. So, yeah, welcome to Redview.
It's the return. That's what it is. So, yeah, that's a good place to start, I hope.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, man, let's take it to the beginning, man. First of all, how did you get the name YZ?
I don't know if that was the beginning, but yeah, but let's start right there. YZ is a question often asked. Well, why is a question often asked by those who don't know. And Z is 1, 2, 3, or knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Or, in fact, it's just the answer to the question. So the question is why, and the answer is 1, 2, 3, or knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's what that means. Also, Y is the beginning of the end, and Z is the new beginning, the end, and then the new beginning.
Right. Okay, got you. So that's pretty profound and everything. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but hey, man, you went into it, man, and listening to your music, of course, we know that you're lyrical and everything like that. But for the people who don't know, give them just a history about how you got started and everything like that. How'd you get started rapping?
I started rapping when I was probably around 9 years old. I was part of this crew called the Zodiac Crew, which is a little gang out of Paterson, a little local gang out of Paterson, the east side of Paterson, New Jersey. And, if we weren't doing like dumb stuff, like taking penny candies out of stores and stupid shit like that. Excuse my language and the language I watch that.
Yeah, all good, all good.
Yeah, just stupid things like that. We were actually banging our stop signs and singing doo-wop and doing stuff like that. And it just became kind of a habit. And then one day, I was in East Orange, New Jersey with a couple of cousins of mine, and they were younger than me. One was a girl, one was a boy. And when we were walking back from the store, they started singing this song. And it sounded different to me. It was rap, but I didn't know the song. And I felt like, man, I'm older than them. And they singing the song verbatim. I don't know what the song is, blah, 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 blah. Turned out to be that was Rapper's Delight. And so, by the time that they saw me again, I knew every word to that song. And I don't necessarily think that song made me want to, I never thought at that age I would actually be in the game of rap music or the game of hip hop. I never thought that. I was just thinking, cool song, cool, I'll learn it. If they can learn it, I can learn it too. That's what my head was. I was a small boy. And so anyway, when I became 12 years old, we moved out of Paterson and we moved to a place called East Windsor, or Heightstown, East Windsor area, which is central New Jersey, exit 8 on the turnpike.
Yeah.
And it's very close to Trenton. It's like an outskirt of Trenton. just like Willingboro is or Cherry Hill is, but it's just further. It's further north of Trenton, northeast of Trenton. And so anyway, when I became about 13 or so, I started listening to Prince real heavy, and I just really got really deep into poetry. He's one of those guys that kind of just captivated me into thinking like, man, I could be like him. I don't know, that's what my mind was anyway. And I just started writing a bunch of stuff. Like every time you saw me, I would have pads and writing and just. Next, it became a backpack and books. And every time you saw me, I was just writing. And so on the weekends, teenagers would go to this place called Quaker Bridge Mall off of 130. And cats that rap would go, or break dance, they would go upstairs in the far corner and battle.
Yeah.
And I was one of those kids, who would go there at first, kind of get my bearings and everything.
Yeah.
And then a couple of cats that was real dope, like Almighty Enforce, and they always come to mind because these two started out battling each other, right?
Yeah.
And then they became a crew, and it was Almighty Enforce always battling each other at the Quaker Bridge Mall, and then they became a crew called Almighty Force. And so I started writing for this guy named G-Rock because I was like, man, shit, if they can do it, I can write routines too, Yeah. So I would write routines for G-Rock, and we would go to the mall and battle Almighty Force.
Wow.
It's funny even thinking about it now because that's really where it began. And then okay, so that's how rapping kind of came in my life.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny when you go back and reflect, it just brings you those memories. You're just like, man, that's what happened,
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And yeah, it's funny looking back on it because I don't even think about it like that anymore. Like I haven't, it's rare for me to even go back to those days. I guess it's in me, it's in my DNA, but I don't really waste too much time thinking about that past, that far back.
Yeah. Well, let's stay a little far back because you signed a record deal in 1990, correct?
A record deal with who?
Did you sign a record deal? Were you on the label?
Nah. See, what the first thing that happened to me when I got in the game, actually, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Looks like the picture went out, but I can still hear you though.
Okay, yeah. When I first got into the game of the business of rap, it started very differently. I guess I'm about 15, 16 years old, maybe getting close to 17 years old. And I used to go to these parties in Trenton at this place called the Lawrence Center. And this guy, Duke, an older dude, he had a sound system, a bunch of dudes. He's a local hustler, but he would throw these really nice parties and everybody would come from the Trenton area and the surrounding areas to one of Duke's parties. The guy that he used to always have DJing at his parties, he probably has several, but the one that I always remember was this guy named Tony D. Tony D was an Italian dude who, he DJed really well. He could, really command the crowd of the at the Lawrence Center at least. And one day, he tapped me on my shoulder. He came from back of the DJ booth, tapped me on my shoulders. It was like, YZ. And I was like, man, you know me.
Yeah.
And I guess I was making a little name for myself with these battles and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. And so he said, of course I know you. I know all the guys that rap around here. Like that kind of thing. And he was like, yo, you should come to my house and make a demo. So I did. I went to his house. We recorded this demo live, like while he was just spinning this record. He didn't even really make a beat for it. It was just this Trans Europe Express beat that, was playing on a record. And I rapped for like maybe 7 or 8 minutes. This record I did it was a recording I did called I'm Bad. And This is before LL, before Michael Jackson. I'm bad. I just felt bad at the time, and it was what I had written, and so that's what happened. And then shortly thereafter, I was like, "Yo, Tone, yo, you know, you making beats and stuff, man. We should, you know, take this to another level. Let's start a business." And he was like, "Yeah, right," you know. And he's a little older than me, maybe 3-4 years older than me. He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Start a business. How we gonna do that?" So I was like, "Yo, let's go over to City Hall and open up a business."
Yeah.
And we started Two Tone Productions. So my first introduction to the music game, even though I didn't know where it was gonna go, was starting a production company with Tony D. It was called Two Tone Productions. We played on our names. He's Anthony DePula, I'm Anthony Hill. He's Italian, I'm black. His name was Tony, my name was Tony. So we did Two Tone Productions. And then we just started making music. He was doing beats for other people locally, but not a whole lot, just a few people. And one day, you know, we were out riding around and we went to this little cookout that didn't have any people. And there was a guy who was, you know, who came and rapped next to me. And I got floored. I was just like, "Yo, this dude is dope." Just so happened that was Wise Intelligence of Poor Righteous Teachers. And when I heard him, I had to sign him. And how I signed him is, and I kind of crossed some things. In the midst of me starting a production company with Tony D, I put a record out. And it was called I Am Who I Am with one of that guy I would write with. And then I did I'm Bad on the flip side, which was the demo that I made with him. And, you know, how it came about was that demo made it to this guy named Woody Wood. Woody Wood was a sometimes mixed DJ for Power 99 in Philadelphia for Lady B. The guy above him was this guy named Jeff Mills, who got wind of the demo, got in touch with me and said, "Yo, I would like to meet with you." He called my house. This is before we even were talking about cell phones, or if there were, or maybe somebody like a Duke might have had one of those big phones in his car or something, or something like that. But anyway, I'm getting long-winded. What we did was he came to see me. My dad took me to the Dunkin' Donuts to go talk to this man about, you know, whatever he wanted to talk about. I got out of my dad's car, went next to him, got in the car. My dad looked at me the whole time. I talked to this dude. He was like, "Hey, man, I like this song right here. We should record a song." And I said, "Well, I got to talk to my parents about it." Because mind you, I'm only maybe 16, 17 years old. And so I was like, "I got to talk to my parents about it. I'll let you know." My mom was like, "Nah, you ain't doing it."
Yeah.
My father was like, "You got to let him do it. You got to let him do it." And so they allowed me. I called Jeff. I said, "Yo, I can do it." I set up a time with Tony to go to Evergreen Studios in New York, and we recorded that song and the two songs, I'm Bad and I Am Who I Am. And about 2 weeks later, without even telling me, he had gotten test presses of the record. And remember, he was a mixed show DJ.
Right.
So every day, you know, every Friday and Saturday, I'd be running to the radio anyway, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock to listen to Red Alert, Mr. Magic or Marley Marl, Chuck Chill Out, you know, anybody that was playing. But where we were situated, we could get all of the stations in New York and we could get all of the stations in Philadelphia too. So being that Jeff was in Philadelphia, I was trying to pay close attention to Jeff while he was on. And my brother was like, "Yo, ain't that your record on the radio?" Now, mind you, I'm at the radio trying to listen, and I didn't even hear it come on, bro. So once I noticed it, I jumped up, ran out the house, ran across the street to G-Rock, who was on the record with me. When I get there, he playing the record out his window, blasting it for everybody to hear. He runs down, me dancing in the street, and I knew, like, right then that, like, I'm in the right place right now. This is it right now. I'm about to really do some things. Right. Shortly after that, because I had, you know, we recorded a record. We signed to this little label in Trenton called Rockin' Hard Records. Two, you know, guys maybe 10 years older than me started this little label, two brothers. And after I did this with this label, I didn't want to do it with anybody else anymore. I was like, yo, I got to start my own label. And it just so happened that this guy named Timothy Baylor had just started this label called Diversity. And I had a record on the radio. Sounds like leverage to me. Yeah. I went to him. I was just like, yo, you ain't got no artist, new label. You got a little bit of money. You know, let me acquire 50% of this label. I get down with you. We do it together. Somehow he was convinced. So now I own a production company and a record company, which I think made Tony upset, but he didn't say anything. It came out later. So when we went into that cookout, when I heard Wise, first thing I wanted to do was sign him. I was just like, yo, I got to sign him. So he introduced me to his crew. It was Culture Freedom and Father Shaheed. We signed them, and I was ready to get them in the studio so we can start making records. Mm-hmm. And I think Tony didn't like it. He started getting in Wise and Culture's ear about shit. And the next thing you know, they're asking me for a release. And Timmy was like, hell no, we ain't releasing them. They at least got to do this first part of this contract, and we'll release them then. And I pulled Timmy to the side. I was just like, nah, we can't do that. I mean, first off, we ain't gonna be able to get the best out of them if they don't want to be here. And then two, if we ever want to go and start getting other acts and stuff, this will be a problem because people will remember that we the type to just be. I don't want to be like the labels in New York. I don't want to be those people that's strangle holding folks. I don't want to be that. Yeah. And so he was like, all right, he let them go. We let them go. Gave him a release, but at the same time, even though I'm letting them go, Tony's still in Wise's ear because he's making their beats all the while making my beats too, and we still got a company. So if you look at Poor Righteous Teacher's first album, I could have really bitched about that because Two Tone Productions was started by me and Tony, not just Tony, but it came out on Two Tone Productions, right? Yeah. So anyway, moving forward, now I'm maybe 17, maybe close to 18 now. I got a label, I got a production company, and I'm ready to take on the world. Mm-hmm. And I'm recording. One day, Timmy called me, was like, yo, Tough City just called me. They want to meet with us to talk about a deal. And I was like, a deal? Bro, I don't want to talk about a deal right now. We just getting our feet wet. You know, like, let's run with this. Right. Stay independent. He said, they're an independent company. I said, well, if we sign to them, then we get an independent company selling to another independent company. We need to just chill. And what he wasn't saying was, yo, this is moving too fast for me. I'm not going to be able to keep up with this. And he didn't want to say that, but and back then I didn't realize that's what he was saying. Right. But as I got older, I realized that's what it was. He couldn't keep up. Mm-hmm. And so we went and talked to Aaron Fuchs over there at Tough City. I told Aaron when I met him, if we end up doing this, I'm gonna change this label. Mm-hmm. You know, you ain't never had somebody like me. And sure enough, when we did Sons of the Father, it was the first time that an artist actually came out on Tough City and blew. I mean, you had other artists that were known, like you had Mark the 45 King, but he was just a producer. You had Lakim Shabazz, who was okay. He was doing his thing. But if you were really outside of the East Coast, you really didn't really know who Lakim Shabazz was. Mm-hmm. And then you had other older guys like Spoonie G and all of that. But the truth is, there wasn't there was no artist on that label who went national. Yeah. And we did. We got lucky. Even though I was determined to do it, I'll say it was luck.
Yeah, definitely. Man, there was so much that was going on during that time. So you end up getting with Tommy Boy at one point, right?
Well, I did a few things with Tommy Boy. Warner Brothers, Tommy Boy, Cold Chillin got together and did a label called Living Large. Mm-hmm. But before they even came into play, you know, I put out an album called Sons of the Father. We did 4 videos for it. We did In Control of Things. We did Thinking of a Master Plan. We did Tower with the Power. And we did this song called Who's That Girl, right? Mm-hmm. And to make it even better for us, when Marley Marl started his show on the weekends, he started his show was called the In Control Rap Show, and for a while he would start his show playing In Control of Things, and so I guess that's how we got wind of Aaron Fuchs in the first place. But now we selling records, and so when I would go to New York, I would stop at places and buy records and stuff, or see how my record was doing. And one day I was in Music Factory on I guess that's Broadway and 42nd in Times Square, New York. And the guy behind the counter was like, "Hey, what's going on, YZ? It's good to see you. Man, we sell a lot of your records in here, man. It's good to see you, man. You finally made it in the store, huh?" Blah, that kind of conversation.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't know this at the time, but the owner was in the store. And I guess the owner of the store was always in the store, but he was just always in the back. So this little Jewish guy comes out, white hair and everything, talks to him, the black dude behind the counter, whispers to him a few things. Then he says, "Hey, YZ, can you come to my office in the back?" So I go in the back in an office that was the size of a closet. And we standing there, I'm looking, because he's a lot shorter than me. I'm looking down, and he's like, "YZ, we sell a lot of your records in the store. I'd like to do something with you. Can you meet me at this address on Monday?" That was probably a Friday. I was like, "Sure." I went. I didn't know it, but I was going to the Cold Chillin' offices. When I get in there, I'm like, "Oh shit, this is Cold Chillin'." I see Biz and Kane and Shantae and everybody on the walls and everything. I'm like thinking, "Oh shit, like this, my heroes. Like, I'm loving this right now. Like, how did I mistakenly walk into Cold Chillin' Records?"
Right.
So I'm thinking, Cold Chillin', Fly Ty. We about to go see Fly Ty right now. Because I know that name. I don't know who Fly Ty is, but I know every time I hear Cold Chillin', Fly Ty name come up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm thinking, okay, when we go in this office, it's gonna be Fly Ty. Let me get my shit together.
Yeah.
And when we go in the office, it's not Fly Ty. It's another Jewish guy by the name of Lenny Fishelberg. Fly Ty's office is on the other side of the damn room, like they had a big office. You walk in, it was an office where Starlight was. To the right was Fly Ty's office, and to the left on this side of their offices was Lenny's, and we went to the left. So I go in there. We were probably in there for all of 15 minutes. Manny had already set it up. Lenny said, "Hey, Manny likes you. He's like, he sees you're a business guy. He told me all about what you're doing and stuff. We want to try to give you a deal." And I said, "Well, if you know anything about me, I already have my own label. I already do my own thing." He was like, "No, it'll be a production agreement for sure. And but let's start out with just making a record, and let's see where it goes." So they gave me a little bit of money. I booked some time at INS. Now, mind you, I hadn't been writing. I had no beats. I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine, I had moved to Brooklyn, and prior to even doing all this, I had moved to Brooklyn. I was part of Black Watch. And one of the dudes in Black Watch, if you look on the X-Clan's cover, you'll see him. His name is Ray Beta. And so Beta and I, we became roommates. And when and he lived, his girl and he lived in one side of the apartment. We were in Brooklyn, and I lived in the living room side. That's where I slept. There was a bed in there. I slept in there. So anyway, I said to Beta, "Yo, I just got a deal. I got to come up with a record. I got some studio time. I got 24 hours in studio time." We went in the studio not knowing what we were going to do. I had no idea. Made the beat from scratch. Had Rock, who was the engineer, in there. We stayed up all night. Rock was like, "Oh, yeah, no, we good." That's how you should talk. No, bro. No, we good. He actually is on that album. On Drink at the Bar, you hear his voice. But he's like, no, we good.
You straight? You straight? YZ, I know you. That kind of thing. Beta, while he was making a track and I'm feeling the vibration, I would put my 2 cents into the track to get my co-production in. But Beta was the force behind that beat. And we ended up recording a song in there. Stayed up all night, mixed it. We didn't master it, but we recorded it, mixed it, and I had 2 or 3 different mixes of the song before I left. Went back to see Lenny with Manny, played the record for him. The record was Return of the Holy One. He was like, yeah, this is cool, but you sure you want to come out with this one first?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's the vibration. That's my vibration. That's it right there. Like, I mean, I think that record's going to do well. He was like, it was very different from anything else. I said, but this isn't Cold Chillin', right? This is Living Large. Living Large is Warner Brothers, Tommy Boy, and Cold Chillin'. They had so this isn't Cold Chillin'. I'm not doing Warming Up Kane. I am not Kane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not Master Ace. I'm not Coogee Rap. I'm YZ.
Yeah.
And I guess if it was Fly Ty probably would have put up a fight. But because this was the Jewish connection, he was like, we're going to run with it. That record was #1 on BET for 10 weeks when we shot the video. As a matter of fact, when we started putting it out, I told him that's going to have to be part of the agreement, that we're going to have to shoot a video for it. And we did. We shot it ourselves. I got it on my own crew. We shot it. And went to the Brooklyn Navy Yard, made it real gritty, made it real ugly and stinky. And this is 92.
Yeah.
Before all of that stinky shit started coming out.
Right.
The record blew. And the next thing you know, everybody that came out looked very similar. Hoodies, locks, dark colors, straight from the sewer type shit.
Right.
Gutter shit. And so I was real happy about that side of it. But back then, I wasn't thinking about how we had just transitioned the game.
Right.
Not knowing it. But we did it. And we're from Jersey, so do I ever expect to get credit for that? No. Do I care that people recognize it? No. But people who are in hip hop who follow, the historians, they call me now. And the reason I speak on it now is because they say, bro, you need to talk about that. You need to tell them the truth, tell people the truth. You always talk about stuff and always play it back. And I said, well, that's just my personality. Nah, fuck that, dog. You need to tell them the truth. And I'm not saying this because I think that it has to be some braggadocio shit. I'm just speaking on it like it's from a griot standpoint of view.
Absolutely.
When we were doing the colored shirts and shit, and the big jeans and the bandanas, nobody was doing that shit. Then we did it, and everybody was doing it. And New York is big for doing shit that Jersey do, but don't want to give credit to Jersey for it. Redman is one of the most underrated MCs ever to walk the face of this earth. He's from Jersey, so it's automatic. Treach and I are not really, I never really looked at Treach as being like the illest MC ever, but he holds his own when it comes to microphones. Lauryn Hill is one of the best MCs that ever walked the face of this earth. Rod Digger is right there next to her. You get me? You have plenty of MCs. Half of Das Effects is Crazy Drazy. He's from Jersey. You understand where I'm coming from? Lords of the Underground, Jersey. You feel me? I could go on and on and on. King Son, shit, most of Sugar Hill Gang. You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? So what I'm saying to you is Jersey just don't get its credit.
Right.
And even though, like I say, and I'm probably part of the problem, the thing that changed me, my whole point of view of rap music was the message. Now, the first rap record I learned was Sugar Hill Gang, or Rapper's Delight. But the first record that really opened my eyes to what rap could be was the message.
Right.
you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know I'm just long-winded, but it is what it is.
Got you. Yeah, man. You gave so much knowledge and history about Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. So, like, what projects do you got out now? You got any new music that you got out now? Are you working on?
I'm working on. See, I was out with Daddy-O last night, and I took him out to dinner. He's been bugging me for years. Yo, you should be in the studio almost every day, bro, because I make beats every day almost. So he's like, you make all these beats. He's like, do you have any beats that you can rhyme over? I said, I can rhyme over every one of my beats. You know, I ain't picky like that. He was like, then why aren't you? And I said, because I made these beats because I want to put them on other projects. I want to put them with other people. I want to change, you know, put music out under another name and not let people know that it's me. He was like, why would you do that, YZ? Everybody know YZ. Why would you do that? I said, because at the end of the day, D, I'm not you, man. You know, you from Brooklyn. Y'all wear this shit on your shoulders. I don't do that.
Right.
You know, that's not me. I don't need all of the accolades of that. I don't need that. And he was like, bro, when we leave here, you coming to my house. I'm giving you a mic. I'm giving you a mic. I'm giving you a compressor. I'm giving you everything you need to record at your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I already have projects out. I got a Muad'Dib album out. I got an album that I dedicated to Pee Wee Kirkland called The Legend of Floyd Jones. It's supposed to be a soundtrack for this documentary I wanted to put out on his life. That's out. You can hear that on Spotify now. That's been out. But Daddy-O has got it in his mind and actually has been forcing it in mine because Daddy-O puts out 2 albums a year at his age. And the funny thing is, to me, he sounds better now than he did then.
That's
just
right.
like Black Thought sounds better now to me now than he did then. Jay-Z sounds better to me now than he did then. So I thought maybe Daddy-O, who was, you know, big in the game, he's A&R for a bunch of folks, producer, he came up, he's responsible for De La Soul and he's responsible for Top Billing and things like that, you know, things that as a hip hop lover we love. And that's my big brother. You know what I'm saying? And so I take what he says and we go back and forth with, you know, we argue and not really argue, but we debate all the time about different stuff. But I give him his homage and I give him his credit because Daddy-O is true legend. Like, you know, people throw that word like love around and legend around too easily. They say, why is it, you know, you're a legend? No, I'm not. I am not. I am not that. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a part of the establishment. True or D, I am that. But legends are for like Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, you know, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, Funky 4+1, Sugar Hill Gang. Even if you want to go even further than that, or beyond rap, or people who rap, Sylvia Robinson, who started Sugar Hill Records, Sleeping Bag Records, Fly Tire, Russell Simmons, Run DMC. You feel me? These are true legends. Daddy-O and Stetsasonic are legends to me. I mean, you know, there was no hip hop band before them, not that I can remember.
Right.
You know, so when I think of legends, that's who I think of. You know, I wouldn't consider Jay-Z a legend. I wouldn't. Is he great? Possibly even the GOAT. Absolutely.
Right.
Is he a legend? No, not in my book.
I see what you're saying, man. Like as far as legendary, you know, classic. I mean, a lot of
we all made some classic shit, but legend.
I feel you. But we got to give roses to where roses are due. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I get where you're coming from because that's coming from a humble standpoint. But man, you put out some classic records. You know what I'm saying? But for you to salute the OGs, that's something that's missing in the game right now. Like,
and I agree with that. I do.
A lot of those names that you mentioned, like especially when you talk about Jersey, you know, I don't hear a lot of people give props to Treach. You know what I'm saying?
They don't come up. Jersey MCs don't come up. How do you mention MCs and don't mention Lauryn Hill? How?
Exactly.
How? Like how? You don't have to mention YZ. How do you mention Jersey MCs and her name don't come up in your top 5?
Exactly.
She'll smoke most people that y'all put out there as the illest MCs. Rod Digger will smoke, burn to ashes most MCs.
Absolutely. Redman,
Their names don't even come up.
right? Exactly. Redman is actually one of Eminem's favorite rappers. Like, if it wasn't for Redman,
And rightly so.
mm-hmm, exactly.
And rightly so. You know, it's funny. Eminem is smart. It's funny. You listen to Eminem, my name come up quite a bit. 3 different occasions he's mentioned me. And I met him once in London. And he asked Proof to come and pull me up into this thing to come have a drink with him. And I don't drink. But like a fool, I did it. I did it. They were drinking something we shouldn't have been drinking. And I was up all night because of it. And and he, like most, excuse my language, like most white kids in the game, they do their history. They, you know, more 15-year-olds today know who YZ is, and you can't ask a 15-year-old black kid who YZ is,
Right.
Unless their dad or mom has been in hip hop, and that sucks.
Yeah. But that's why we got you on platforms like RedsView, so all the other listeners, especially if they're younger, can know about you, know the legacy, and especially Jersey, man. I got to get some more Jersey MCs on here, man, for sure, because we got to share.
I can help you there too. Like if you need to get some folks, you know, I've been talking to Cat about stuff like and pulling, because most of these dudes, man, we're friends. We speak.
Yeah.
Not many people gonna be like, I hung out with Daddy-O last night.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. We definitely got to get him on the show, man. I'm glad that we can open the door. Y'all hearing it right now. We already got the legendary YZ on here, and we gonna open up the door so y'all can know what the hell Jersey got to, like, Jersey's been doing it. You remember?
Well, just basically what I think, what I would like to do is just recognize the contribution.
Yeah.
What would rap be without Rapper's Delight?
It wouldn't be.
On some real shit, like just keep it really 100.
Right.
What would rap be without Rapper's Delight? I mean, we didn't even got to go any further than that.
Right. It stops right there. What would that be like? And
yeah, what would rap be?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would it be the same? Would it have had its longevity if somebody didn't realize that rap can sell 1 million records?
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been commercial. If we wouldn't have had that, it wouldn't have been no selling records. For y'all MCs or rappers, I call y'all nowadays.
That's my point. That's my point indeed. So, like, when I look at stuff, like, I think people just, I think Daddy-O said it best. What's missing from the picture today is a lot of these younger guys, they just, and I give to all of them total respect. I love them all. I think it's great what they're doing. I think it's fantastic that they're keeping the candle lit. Keep on doing it. I'm glad that it's transitioning and changing, because that's what rap should do. It should elevate. It should evolve.
Right.
Keep on doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It helps us to evolve too. It makes for a better Black Thought. It makes for a better YZ. It makes for a better Jay-Z. It makes for a better Daddy-O. You feel me?
Right.
So cool. Keep it up. But I just think what's missing is you guys forget that before there was Eminem,
mm-hmm.
there was somebody like, let's say, MC Search.
MC Search. Shout out to MC Search.
Okay. And before there was, let's say, Future.
Mm-hmm.
There was, we even got to go far as there was Outkast.
Right. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so you gotta realize that, or Tribe Called Quest, or De La Soul.
Legends. Yeah.
I would, again, to me, I wouldn't consider any of them. They're my peers. I would not consider any of them to be legends in my book.
I got you. Yeah.
Are they notable? Have they etched their mark? Yes. Have they laid a brick in the cement of hip hop? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we should be paying attention to that brick, you
Right.
know, because if you take those bricks away, everything falls. You take the foundation away and the brick, there won't be any more rap music. So
Right.
that's why that tie has got to stop. We got to stop shooting darts at these young cats, and they got to learn to just learn to respect a little more. And I don't know how it's going to come about, but I'm praying that maybe I can be a part of that change. Maybe not the reason, but just a part of it, another brick in the change to say, man, look, love these young brothers, love what they do, respect what they do. Maybe they just don't respect you because they don't think you respect them enough. It shouldn't even be that way. But since we're the elder statesmen, take that position and show them that you do have your hand out for them, and that you do have your mind and your ears open to them. And if they need, you know, that kind of thing.
Definitely.
You know, and I just think that it would help so much, man, because I just think, man, these people, they don't understand. Without a Dougie Fresh, without the Fat Boys, without, you know, any of these groups, LL Cool J, and all of these groups that came out before them, shit, you can even come further. Let's take it to Philadelphia. You got Steady B, you got Schoolie D, you got the Skinny Boys. Remember Skinny Boys?
Yeah, definitely.
Skinny Boys. You got 3 Times Dope. You get me?
Yeah.
You got Yvette Money, who came out of Philadelphia. You got all of these people who came before these other people, and they paved the way. And if it wasn't, if that way wasn't paved correctly, we would not have any ground to stand on.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah.
And so I'm just hoping that the youth, which has technology in their hand every day, everything they need to know is right there in their hand. And people read less now than they did before the cell phone. And you got the world of information at your fingertips, and you read less. Don't make any sense to me.
Yeah, definitely, man. Man, you said a mouthful, man. YZ, tell everybody where they can follow you on social media, man.
VTHE Black BLACK Bank BANK, or just simply type YZ.
Yeah, type YZ in, go to YouTube. Like you said, everything is at their fingertips. Man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man, spreading that wisdom, giving us a background of you, and all your stuff is on streaming platforms. Y'all can make sure that you go get it and make sure that you follow him. And like I said, man, I got to get some more Jersey folks on this show, man. So you got to help me out with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I'd be great to get somebody like a Do-It-All from Lords of the Underground. That dude is like, he's running for like office and all this other stuff, and he still spit.
Yeah.
Get him, like you know, folks like that. Hakeem Green.
Yeah.
You know, Hakeem Green. Hakeem Green is from Jersey.
Yeah.
You remember Channel Live, don't you?
Oh yeah, man.
And Hakeem is my dude. Wise Intelligence. You should get Wise Intelligence PRT on your joint.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so
yeah. Well, yeah, man, we linked up and everything like that. It was good having you on the show again. I love giving everybody their flowers and things like that, man. So yeah, Redheads, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/RedsView. Follow me on social media at JAYR3D. Man, thank you so much again, YZ, for coming through here, man. And we'll stay connected. Got to get Jersey folks on here. You already know, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, and thank you very much.
Absolutely. RedsView signing out.
Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, give up, give up.